Hey, movie fans, the first thing I'm going to talk about is they released a nearly 3-minute trailer for Oppenheimer. Now, this is one of my most anticipated movies, and the trailer just looks great. Like, the visuals of it has a lot of great cast members in it, and Christopher Nolan, I mean, he hasn't made a movie I can say I dislike. Like, I haven't loved every movie of his. Like, I like Dunkirk, I like Dark Knight Rises, I like Tenet, but they're probably my, least favorite movies of his. Still enjoyable movies though. Like to me, he hasn't made like a bad movie in my opinion. I've either liked or loved every movie I've seen of his. So this movie just looks fantastic. An idea of it being based on like a true story about the guy who created the first atomic bomb. It just sounds the story just looks so compelling. Like I could see this being like a great drama. So I thought the trailer was awesome. Like this is definitely one of my most anticipated movies this year. Next thing I want to talk about is Zack Snyder's latest comment at his Snyder convention where he screened Man of Steel, Batman V Superman Ultimate Edition, and his director's cut of Justice League. He said some latest comments, and I know sometimes when directors get, you're put on the spot, you're at a convention, you don't have what you're going to say planned out, and also know that look, sometimes we all say stupid things, and I don't think he meant what he was trying to say. But I do think the way he phrased it was just makes him does make him come off a little juicy. So this was his latest comment at his convention. He was trying to explain when it comes to why Batman v Superman wasn't received well when it came out in theaters, a critical reputation of that movie. He said, well, in this film in particular, you create so many layers for storytelling and characters. I think you want to make an effort to dig a little deeper. Now, that was impressive, but the answer he put, yes, but I think that probably is what caused me to be so polarized, and I think it made me unwarm. I feel like a lot of people went into movies going like, oh, it's be a warm, let's have fun with it. And then the next response that he gave was, we gave this sort of awkward, deconstruction, heavy layered, experimental modern methodology to be a movie that needs that you really need to pay attention to. That was not cool for them. That's not something anybody wanted to do. They were like, what? No, this is lost. And how about why do they fight at night? I hate that. And I understand he's trying to explain why he thinks Batman v Superman wasn't received well. But the reason I don't like, and again, the reason I don't like what he said here is because, and this is the thing with directors sometimes too, I gotta say, all that just sounds like you're trying to say the audience isn't smart enough to get your movies. And I hate when directors blame the audience. It's your job as a director storyteller to execute it in a way that works for a lot of people. And let me say this with Zack Snyder. I enjoyed Man of Steel. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I didn't like Batman v Superman. I liked the Ultimate Edition was an improvement over the director's cut. I still don't love either cut of that movie. I still don't think it's a great movie no matter what cut. I even enjoyed the theoretical cut of Justice League. I loved his director's cut of that movie. To me, that was a big step up. It's one of my favorite DC movies. And to me, it's his best DC movie out of that trilogy. And I love Watchmen. When I look at Watchmen, when I look at a movie I watched, I love that movie. And that movie, Watchmen, when that came out, that was like half the critics hated it, half the critics liked it. But I don't go around telling, people who don't like that movie that, oh, you're not smart enough to get that. And that's the thing I don't like about Zack Snyder's comments and other directors when they blame the audience is that, look, I got Batman v Superman. I understood what the movie was trying to do. When people make fun of that Martha moment, whether that worked for you or not, it didn't work for me. It's not because I didn't get what he was trying to do in that moment. And just the overall movie, I get what he was trying to make in that movie. I understand he was trying to deconstruct the characters of Superman and Batman. I get that. I understand what Snake Eyes was trying to do with Lex Luthor. I get that. But, you making it sound like the audience is smart enough to get that, or whether you feel like the audience was looking for more of a fun movie, not a dark, pretty movie, that has nothing to do with the movie. My problems with Batman v Superman has nothing to do with the whole idea of being dark and witty. The only thing I have towards that tone is that he took Superman more darker than I think he needed to be. But that's not my overall issue with that movie. I have my flaws with that movie. I sometimes do with the plot of that movie, some of the choices with some of the characters in that movie, some of the casting, like Zack Snyder, as Leslie said, that didn't work for me. With the Doomsday, I thought I didn't like the design of Doomsday in that movie. I just think Zack Snyder was it's like people got what Batman v Superman, what the movie was. But like I said, you're the director. It's your job to execute in a way that people get it. And for me, I got the movie. I just wasn't a big fan of that movie. Like I said, Ultimate Edition is an improvement, but I still don't think it's a great movie no matter what cut of that movie I lost. I think these directors need to realize sometimes you blame an audience saying they wanted something else, or you making it sound like the audience wasn't smart enough, like you're too clever. They aren't smart enough to get what you were trying to do in a movie. I hate when directors do that. It's like all it does is make you come off a little juicy to me. And directors need to realize sometimes that films are subjective. And I'm sure there's people out there that love Batman v Superman. No matter there's probably people that love the theatrical cut, and that's fantastic. A lot of people don't like that movie, and that's fine. Like, just Zack Snyder, I think Zack Snyder also needs to move on from the DC movies right now because I feel like he just constantly is talking about these DC films all the time, and I'm just like, dude, it's over. And like I said, I say this as a Zack Snyder fan of his films outside the Do Have Cut of Batman and Superman. That's the only movie I can say that I didn't like, that I didn't at least enjoy. So yeah, I would just say Zack Snyder, you just hear what you say sometimes, and I know he was put on spot. And we all say stuff sometimes that we regret later. We go like, "Oh, I wish we didn't say that." So it's not just him; it's other directors that do that sometimes. It's just for me, it doesn't make you look good when you start making it sound like the audience is dumb and they weren't smart enough to get your movie. I'm just not a fan of when directors make comments that sound like that because it just puts you in kind of a bad light. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. Still a fan of his, and I know he wasn't. I don't think he was trying to say that. He wasn't what he was trying to say. Wasn't trying to come out in that way. But I think sometimes directors need to be a little smart about what you say because yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole Zack Snyder comments. Next thing I want to talk about is the whole idea, and this is something, and this is going to be about Man of Steel. The whole idea that and I like Man of Steel. The whole idea that people will say, "Oh, you don't love Man of Steel." The reason you don't love Man of Steel, or if you dislike Man of Steel, is because it's not Christopher Reeve. Okay, here's why I have a problem with that. I don't love Superman Returns. That's a spiritual sequel to the first movies. If you go by the CW shows where they reference Superman 3, it's a spiritual sequel to the first 3 Christopher Reeve movies. And Brandon Routh is not one of my favorite Supermans. I thought he was better in the CW shows when he came back with the Kingdom Come version and the Crystal Reeve version. But that is an example right there where I didn't love Superman Returns. And it's up there with Man of Steel, where it's 2 movies that I like. I don't dislike either of the 2 Superman movies. And here's another example. The worst Superman movies, the only ones I consider to be bad Superman movies, is Superman 3 and 4, which is the 2 Christopher Reeve movies. So if I wanted the Crystal Reeve version, I would have said, and I would have enjoyed or loved Superman 3 and 4. Or loved Returns. So I don't buy it to be excused. And also I would say to that, people who say, if you dislike Man of Steel, or if you don't think it's one of the greatest movies ever, there's plenty of different interpretations of these characters. For me, Chris Reeve's my favorite Superman in film. And I have my reasons for why that interpretation I connected to it personally. Or why I love Taylor, I can't remember his last name, from Superman Law Show, current Superman Law Show. Why I love him, why I love Tom Welling, why I love Dean Cain, why I love Superman Animated. It's all 5 of those are different interpretations of Superman. So, at the end of the day, I love all the interpretations, and I like Henry Cavill in a role. I don't think he was bad in a role. I don't think he was great in a role either. I felt the same way I thought about him when I thought about Brandon Routh in Superman Returns, but I thought he was fine in Superman Returns, Brandon Routh, but I didn't think he was great either. But I think people need to realize that sometimes it has nothing to do with, for me personally, I didn't love Man of Steel. It has nothing to do with the fact I wanted a Chris Reeve version. I wanted a Boy Scout version. It's just Zack Snyder. Some of the stuff Zack Snyder tried to do didn't work for me. Some stuff did, and and at the end of the day, I didn't think it was a great movie personally. But like I said, it's nothing to do with me wanting to Christopher Frozen. And people say Christopher Frozen's just, he's the Boy Scout. Yes, he has a joyous, joyous Frozen, and I do want to enjoy my Superman. But I also say this is that he wasn't a perfect. He wasn't like he was a Boy Scout to the point where his character was perfect. They show Superman the movie. Go back and watch that original movie with Smallville scenes. If Delana comes over to him on a football field at the high school, talking to him, and then her boyfriend comes over, one of the football players, and he's picking on Clark. After they leave, he kicks the football in the sky, and then he speeds back to his house, and you see Lana and her boyfriend and other players of Clark going by, and you see Clark like smoking there, like he's showing off his powers. So Jonathan has to talk with him, and it's like you sent him for more of a reason. So it's not like they didn't show crucially Superman, when he was in high school, that he was a little arrogant too. He was showing off his abilities in that little bit in the Superman the movie. So it's not like his Superman was like exactly like a goody two shoes and perfect all the time. And in Superman 2, my favorite Superman movie, the best Superman movie personally for me, the show He's Clark acts selfless in that movie when he wants to be with Lois to give him his powers. Because obviously Kryptonians don't age as fast as humans, and he wanted to have a normal life with Lois. They show that, Christopher Superman acted selfish in that movie, so he's not like he's a perfect goody two-shoes, and he makes the right decision all the time in those movies. But like I said, this whole thing was mostly about the idea that look, like I said, I like Man of Steel, but it's the idea that that if you don't love Man of Steel, if you hate it, is because it's not the Crystal Reeve version. It has nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, I just want a great Superman movie. I'm excited for Superman Legacy is because I'm hoping this will be a great Superman movie. I love those first two movies, and I just want to have that feeling again. And just at the end of the day, with any movie, I just want a great movie. If a movie doesn't work for me, or if I come out going like I like it, but I didn't love it, at the end of the day, I just want to, like anybody, I just want to come out and be loving them. So, I just wanted to talk about that when people say, like, we see you don't love Man of Steel, what you hate is because it's not the Kushbu version. I don't think, to me, I don't buy that. Sometimes movies just don't work for some people, sometimes movies work better for other people. Film is subjective, so. Next thing I want to talk about is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The reason I want to talk about this is to say, do I think this is one of the best trilogies in the MCU? I would say it's one of the better trilogies in the MCU. Like, to me, the Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy and Captain America trilogy is still the best. Like, I love all three movies, those two trilogies, and it makes just a great trilogy of the whole character arc. I love the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I love Guardians 3. But Guardians 2, it's okay. Like, I was disappointed in Guardians 2. Like, I still enjoyed Guardians 2, but I didn't love it as much as the first and third movie. Like, I would put this trilogy up there with the Thor trilogy, where I love the first Thor, I love Thor Ragnarok, and I thought Dark World was okay. But I would say it's one of the better trilogies. Not one of the best trilogies, but one of the better trilogies. And that last thing I want to talk about is the announcement of Beetlejuice 2. Now, I love the first Beetlejuice movie. It's one of my favorite Tim Burton movies. I love a lot of Tim Burton's earlier stuff, so I'm a big fan of Tim Burton. His latest stuff recently hasn't been all that good, but I think you can make a really fun game doing a sequel to Beetlejuice. I know they waited a long time to maybe talk about it. I also love the fact that you've been Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton and Tim Burton come back to direct. They've been back. Two of the cast members, the main girl from the original Beetlejuice movie, and Michael Keaton. I love them bringing back. And Jenna Ortega is making film to play the daughter of the main girl from Beetlejuice. So I love hearing that because she's a great actress. Like, I love doing the Scream movies. I never watched the Wednesday show, but I heard she's great in it. And I just think she's a great choice. Like, I could see her as the daughter of the main character from the first Beetlejuice movie. So I'm just really excited for this, and I hope this turns out to be a fun game we deal with now, because I'm hoping this will be like the Top Gun Maverick sequel. You waited a long time to do a sequel, but it turns out well. So that's all my thoughts on the movie topic today. Until next time, movie lovers.